changes. Are we going to make that? We are live over here, guys. We are live over here just right now, and it is the second leg which is going on in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Oh my goodness. Can you believe that? Will Dortmund make that? Will Dortmund make that? And yes, give your votes. Give your votes on the poll section which has been pinned. Can Dortmund make that? Can Aston Villa make that? It is going to be a big, unfavorable underdogs game, which is going to be causing that, which is definitely going to be causing that. How is that? How is that going to be happening? How is that which is going to be happening in this? I am really out of my mind thinking how Dortmund are going to make that, and I am out of mind thinking how the likes of Aston Villa are going to crack this open. Will this be the end of Aston Villa? That is also the big aspect to watch in this. Those of you who are watching, give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Give your votes on the chat section for the poll which has been pinned. Give your votes. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned. It is really going to be a big disappointment. This is really going to be a big disappointment. No one is going to take that blame. But how are things going to be? We really need to find out what caused Dortmund that big upsets for today's game. I mean, who is going to be blaming that if Dortmund are going to get those exits today? Who is going to be blaming that, and who are the fans going to make those statements good? That is something which will be a worry for most of the fans. That is something which will be a worry for most of the fans. How are things happening to be going on like this? Dortmund, they won't be playing those Champions League even next season. They are at the 8th spot. Look at that. Look at that. The lineups are announced. The lineups has been announced. My goodness, it has been some sort of changes which has been made by Niko Kovac. Niko Kovac has made some sort of changes in the team. Look at that. But will this change be good enough to get past those 4 goals deficit against the likes of Hansi Flick's lethal Barcelona? Oh my goodness. Can you just feel that pain? Can you just get that utter and big disaster which is happening? How is that going to be? Look at that. It is the game which is going to begin, and Dortmund against the likes of Barcelona. A big game it is about to begin, but the 4-goal deficit which happened, that is something which you can't afford to have. That is something which you can't afford to have. But how are Dortmund going to progress to the next stages? Can they will be able to make something out of that? But on the other hand, PSG has got that 3-1 against Aston Villa. My goodness. We will be making the predictions and we will be watching the lineups. We still has, I mean, more than half an hour time left. Let me just share this. Those cheeky piggy links. Let me just share that. Let me just share that. Give me a moment, guys. We will be making the predictions and we will be making that big. But let me just share this on those cheeky piggy links. Are we really going to make this? Are we really going to make this? I don't think there is any sort of speculations which can be made. No way I could find that it is the likes of Dortmund who are going to make that. No way. It is that no way where Dortmund will be making those. I haven't found that no way into this. No way Dortmund are going to make that. And also on the other hand, it is the likes of Aston Villa. Unai Emery's man picking Rashford and shit into the squad. I don't think that is going to be. Sorry, my mates, those of you who are the villains, the lions, who are wanting that to be happening for them, but it is not going to happen. It is definitely not going to happen for them. Anyways, that is not going to happen. So yes, without missing any time into that, we will be just now. Those cheeky piggy links has been shared, guys. Those cheeky piggy links has been just shared. Those of you who are watching it, get it from our social media platforms, or you are from the continent, you can go for those subscription based, which is also available there. You can get it available from there, no denying the fact. But certainly things are looking bit clumsy. Certainly things are looking bit clumsy as well, because how are things going to be turning for Dortmund? Let us just have a look on that. I mean, Dortmund with this lineup, how are they going to make that? How are they going to make that? Do you think Maximilian Bayer, he is number 14 in the squad, 22 years of age? Will he be good enough? Will he be that little enough? Gurase is the man. He has been scoring 10 Champions League goals this season. Joao Gurase has got 10 Champions League goals. Ademi is the man. Ademi wasn't that good in the previous leg. No denying the fact, Ademi wasn't at all good in the first leg. And yes, those of you who are watching, give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned. Give your votes on that poll section. Stevenson on the left mid pitch. Dortmund going with that 3-4-3 in the squad. Gross on the mid pitch. He is back and available. In the first leg, Gross was the man who wasn't available. That was a big question. Gross was on a suspension. Felix Mecha is back from most of those injuries times this season, but not getting that monstrous job. But it is Kobel, Benzibiani, Anton, and Nicolas Sule. Three of the centre backs Nico Kovac is having, but on the mid pitch it is Stevenson, Gross, Felix Mecha, and Koto. These four will be making that good. Gross will be staying most of the times on the down of the pitch. Felix Mecha, not that attacking aspect. Stevenson, Koto, they will be attacking that. Maximilian Paya, Gurase, and Ademi, three of them will be consistently pressing that against Kunde, Araujo, Kubasi, and Martin. Look at that lineup, which Hansi Flick over here is now boasting. Look at that lineup, my goodness. It is Barcelona who are just having the change of Pedri is not in the squad. It is Xavi who has been picked. Pedri is not in the starting lineup for Barcelona in this game. My goodness. Hansi Flick, being that strict enough, has picked Xavi into this aspect. Look at that. It is also the likes of Balde who is not there. It is Martin and Kunde on the super backs. Araujo and Kubasi are there available on the centre backs. But again, that is something which we didn't expect it. Barcelona has made changes which we didn't expect it. I didn't expect that, because in the previous lineup for that, it was the likes of Martinez and Kubasi, but Martinez hasn't been picked. Look at that. It is Martinez who hasn't been picked. But Rafinha, will he be getting that, equaling the records of Lionel Messi? 17 goals this season. Rafinha is roaring high, and 12 of them in the Champions League. Rafinha, will he be making that? Rafinha, will he be making that? Oh my goodness. Rafinha will be getting those big minutes. Dortmund, 4 goal down. No expectations from our predictions coming straight into this game. Borussia Dortmund and Barcelona. Dortmund will try to get some sort of recovery for those healing aspects, down by 4 goals into that, but they won't be able to get past Barcelona. And in the knockout, in the semi-finals, it will be the likes of Barcelona going straight into that. No denying the fact, it will be the likes of Barcelona going straight into that. But most of the stats will be relying, can Rafinha and the likes of Lewandowski will be making that big? Can they add more goals to their glory? That will also be the factor. Gurase, sorry, my man, Gurase, you have no more hopes left. We have to just get past this season of the Champions League with 10 goals. Maybe he can score one or two. That will be the factor. And on the other lineups, Let's have a look at Aston Villa and PSG. How is this lineup going to be? Aston Villa, my goodness, Unai Emery now picking up Onana on the mid pitch. Kamara was there on the previous leg. There's Consort, Torres, Dean, Cash, Martinez, the same centre back as well as those goalkeeping aspects. Aston Villa has got into it, but Onana is the man who has been picked in the starting lineup. Will Amadou Onana be that defensively good? He is doing some sort of good aspects in the Premier League, but Aston Villa not making those statements in the number points in the Premier League. Rogers, the man who got that good in the first leg, but will he be making that? I mean, it is the first meeting of Aston Villa against the likes of Paris Saint-Germain, but Rogers was the only man in the first leg where he got that goal. It was also the pairing of Aston Villa who got it, the likes of Rogers and Ramsay were there. Ramsay was a disaster in that, but now it is McKean who has been picked on the wings elements on the attacking mid pitch. But in the previous leg, it was Kamara, Tillemans, and McGinn. That is a different aspect Unai Emery is making, but Rashford, will he be that good enough? Aston Villa has got few chances. I mean, if they can make it at their own home at the Villa Park, they can get it because it is PSG who has dominated this game. Taking a look at the lineups of PSG, look at that. It was the previous leg where Kvaratskhelia was the man of the match. He was that good one, but getting substituted on the 90 minutes, Dembele and Desire were the men who were pairing that. They were the men who were pairing that. But now it is Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Barcola on the lineups. Barcola is the man who has been picked. It is the likes of Luis Enrique picking Barcola and dropping Desire Doué. Why? Desire Doué did good in that leg, and PSG has got that rest. They didn't even have those matches to be playing in the League One. They have got that ample rest which they are getting into this game. But why is that substitution which is happening? Why is that substitution which is happening? Aston Villa even faced Southampton in between these two legs, and they have got that 3-0 win. That was a big win. Aston Villa getting 3-0 win. It was Watkins, Malen, and McGinn, three of them getting those against Southampton. But it was in the Premier League. But for today's game against PSG. But what is that change? Barcola, why has he been picked? It was PSG getting those rests. In the previous game, it was Desire Doué who was good. Dembele was very good. Kvaratskhelia was marvelous. But why this change Luis Enrique has made into this, I am not being able to understand. And yes, those of you who are watching this, give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that whole section which has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes on that whole section which has been pinned on the chat. Will Barcelona get that big? It is a vague poll which has been created. PSG, will they get it good? Aston Villa, will they make it? Or it is the likes of Dortmund, will they get it? It is the, 0.0001% opportunity for Dortmund. It is some sort of 10% opportunity for Aston Villa. 80% for PSG getting that, and it is 100% for Barcelona. 99.99999%. Barcelona will make that. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that whole section which has been pinned. So that was all about the lineups, and we have made the predictions into this game. It is definitely going to be the likes of PSG and the likes of Barcelona making that. And those of you who have missed it, just drag the timeline and you can have the watch of our predictions as well as those lineups which were shared. But looking at this PSG game, look at that. The previous one, they got those 29 shots. My goodness. 10 on target. That was a big one. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that whole section which has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes. Barcelona, will they get that? PSG, will they get it? Aston Villa, or it is like Dortmund? But look at these stats. It was 10 shots on target, 76% possession, 841 passes at Parc des Princes. Luis Enrique's men were, a monster. They just nailed Aston Villa deep into the nets. Emilio Martinez, he had that big task to do. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't happen for a cause. This was the big one. Yellow cards. Only one has been shown. Aston Villa has got that. None, no red cards. Two offsides. PSG has been boasting Marquinhos as well as the likes of Paco. They both have been that dominant enough. They have been that dominant enough. They really have been that dominant enough to get into this game. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned on the chat. Who is going to make that? But looking at the other aspect, Barcelona and Dortmund, look at that. It is that one way. This second leg, Barcelona and Dortmund and the likes of Aston Villa and PSG, it is going to be that one way. No of the underdogs, Aston Villa, I don't think that they will make that good against PSG, and also on the other hand, Dortmund against Barcelona, I don't think that will be good enough. We still have got 16 more minutes. We still have got those 16 more minutes into this. But looking at the stats of Barcelona and Dortmund for the previous fixture, look at that. It is Barcelona getting 18 shots. To be talking about this game, I would again say it was Barcelona who were superior into this game. They got 18, 10 on target. Much of those performances were made by the Coolers. 545 passes, 88% pass accuracy, but Dortmund were looking quite in some sort of reluctant in getting those big moves. It was definitely the likes of Dortmund were looking quite reluctant in making those moves. They have got those 13 shots. It was some movements from Gurase who was looking magical on the pitch. Then also, it is going to be the exit of Dortmund from the Champions League this season, and it will also be the exit because Dortmund the next season will they be playing the Champions League? They are at the 8th spot. How is that going to be? It is all the way for Barcelona to getting that. Will Dortmund get those recovery points to be talking? Borussia Dortmund have never beaten Barcelona in the European competitions. 6 games played, 2 draws, 4 losses. That is what Dortmund are holding those stats in the Champions League against Barcelona. Dortmund has never won against Barcelona. My goodness. That is a big one. Barcelona are boasting that big one. How are things going to be? How are things going to be? Give your votes, guys. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that poll section. Who is going to be? Mr. Pete, he has commented, I forgot Dortmund were in Europe. Oh my goodness. You forgot that Dortmund is in Europe. Oh my goodness. What a banter that is. What a banter that is. Mr. Pete just commented, I forgot Dortmund were in Europe. Oh my goodness. That is bad, my boy. That is bad. You shouldn't be getting those. Oh my goodness. He just commented that I forgot Dortmund were in Europe. You commented that you forgot Dortmund were in Europe. Oh my goodness. That is a bad one. That is a bad one, my boy. But yes, it is the story which is going to be cooking up tomorrow morning because all the way Dortmund are getting those exits. No one on this holy earth can stop Borussia Dortmund for getting those exits. And yes, by the way, thank you for coming to the stream and getting your comments over here. Thank you, my boy. Thank you, Mr. Pete. But we had the predictions of the matches for today. Both the matches for this is going to be one way, but you have also those predictions which is left in this, that it is the likes of Inter against Bayern Munich. That is also a big game which is coming tomorrow, and also the likes of Real Madrid against Arsenal. My goodness, big dogs of Champions League. They are down. Big dogs of the Champions League are down. Oh my goodness. How is that going to be? How is that going to be? Big dogs of the football, are they going to get those exits or not? This question is not to be predicted for today's game. This question is not to be predicted for today's game. How are things going to be making that good? How are things going to be making that good? I don't think things are going to be making that big. But Dortmund, will they be clinical enough? That is the thing which we are waiting. Some sort of upsets will it be coming, or it is going to be a straight one? That is what we are waiting for. But Aston Villa have lost 3 of their 4 games against French sides in the European competitions again under Unai Emery. My goodness, that is also another of the insights into this game. Aston Villa has lost 3 of their 4 games against French sides. My goodness. Will Villa, the Lions, get that against PSG? That will also be the one thing which we will be watching. And wanting more than that, look at it, look at it, look at it. Oh my goodness, look at those stats, look at those stats. The lineups which we had the discuss of right now, PSG with this. But one thing which I couldn't just clear my mind about it is that why is the likes of Luis Enrique dropping Desire Due for this game and bringing in Barcola? What was the need? What was the need? What was the need? Why Barcola was the man who is called, and it is the likes of Desire Due. PSG didn't even have those French league matches, but then also they have got that. Why, Mr. Luis Enrique? It will be a big question if this is going to be upset. If this is going to be upset, this thing from Unai Emery just won't make that. Will those training sessions were good enough to get that? Was those training sessions where the likes of Desire didn't perform good? It is those reasons, because PSG has got those rest. PSG has got those rest, as well as the likes of Hansi Flick not picking up Pedri into that. Hansi Flick is that strict manager. Most of the times he goes with those performances which he is having in the training sessions, but not picking up Pedri and getting Javi involved. That is also be the thing which I'm having that question in my mind. I'm also having that big question on my mind, why it is the likes of Xavi being picked and Pedri, who did that marvelous job in the first leg in the mid pitch, hasn't been picked. Why Barcelona has made that? I mean, why it is the likes of Hansi Flick making that? Because in the fixtures, Barcelona faced Leganes, and in that it was the likes of Pedri who did his job decent, but he wasn't best. He even didn't got those substitutions. It was Barcelona who faced Leganes in between these 2 fixtures against Dortmund of the Champions League. Against Leganes, they got a win. It was an own goal which happened, but Barcelona just couldn't get that goal, that ball into the nets. It was those expectancies, 12 shots which they took, 3 on target. Not expected from Barcelona in the La Liga against Leganes, but in talking to the head-to-head performances, Leganes has been getting those consistent defeats against the likes of Barcelona, but Pedri was the man who was picked against Leganes. But then also he hasn't been picked. Why Pedri hasn't been picked? Why is the likes of Pedri who hasn't been picked into this? That is a big question. And Hansi Flick is the man, he is definitely knowing that. And in this, he has picked Xavi on the mid pitch with De Jong and Lopez. My goodness. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching, give your votes on that poll section. Who will win? It is the likes of Barcelona, it is the likes of PSG, it is the likes of Aston Villa, or it is the likes of Dortmund. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that poll section. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. That is something big tactical change which Dortmund are having into this game as well. Some sort of tactical change Dortmund are also enjoying in this game to be talking. It is some sort of changes which is seen because Chukwuemeka is the man who is on an injury for Niko Kovac's Dortmund. Brandt was the man on the starting lineups, but in the first leg, he got no opportunities. Hansi Flick's Barcelona got that big against Brandt and Chukwuemeka. But Nicolas Sule was called on for those substitutions, but now it is Sule who is there. Sule is the man who is there. Sule has been now in the starting lineup. Sule, Anton, and Benzibiani, will they be, three of them, be good enough to stop the likes of Yamal, Lewandowski, and Rafinha? Rafinha against Sule. Sule will get that block, but in terms of speed, I don't think that is going to happen. Lamine Yamal against the likes of Benzibiani, that will be the factor because Benzibiani, it was in the previous fixture who got that against Yamal, but Benzibiani was a disaster. That is the same thing which Niko Kovac has got into this. It is that same thing Niko Kovac in the previous fixture, he got that. It was a big disappointment. Benzibiani wasn't that good enough. But then also it is again Benzibiani and Svensson, and with the aspect of Gross coming into that, I think it will be Gross who will be man marking Yamal, or it will be likes of Svensson who will be consistently playing with Yamal. Yamal, that is formation from Dortmund, and Niko Kovac's man, completely making that statement that for Yamal, he will be getting that cascading moments between Svensson, Benzibiani, and Gross into those attacks. And for Rafinha, it will be the likes of Nicolas Sule, Felix Mecha, and Jan Koto. But who is then going to stop Lewandowski? Because Lewandowski, he was that furious form. He got those two goals. He will be all left in with the likes of Anton, Felix Mecha, or Gross. One of them has to be staying deep. One of them has to be staying deep. With these three centre backs, it is Niko Kovac who is going on that they are going to make that big. And yes, those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that whole section which has been pinned on the chat. Barcelona, PSG, Aston Villa, Dortmund. Finally, who are going that? Most of the speculations, all our predictions has been made. Everything has been made. We have made the predictions, all the lineups. We had those discussions of that as well. But in the end, will that be good enough? In the end, will that be good enough? And talking about Barcelona, one thing is consistently hitting on my mind, that will the change Pedri not picking up and Barcelona getting that one own goal against the likes of Leganes, not getting that good on those clinical finishings, 12 shots they took, but that was one own goal which they have to be just satisfied with. Pedri was the man who performed good in the first leg, but not picked up, and Balde is the man who has got those injuries and not on the lineups. Mark Bernal, Casado are also there for those injuries. But it is Martinez again. Martinez was there on the centre backs, but now it is the likes of Araujo. My goodness, because it is the likes of Hansi Flick who knows that Dortmund will be going for those headers, those aerial ways, those crosses, those, I mean, through the air ball, which they will be looking to make into that. They will be looking to make into that. That is why Araujo has been picked. That is why the reason Araujo has been picked. Hansi Flick picking, not picking Martinez into that, and picking Araujo. This is the statement he is making that clear that he doesn't want those aerial incoming tensions for Barcelona to be coming. He doesn't want. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. That who is going to get that? Give your votes on that poll section. Who is going to get that into the semi-finals of the Champions League? Give your votes, guys. Those of you who are watching, give your votes. The game is about to begin anytime. I mean, still 12 minutes to go. Still 12 minutes to go for this game to begin. Still 12 minutes to go for this game to begin. Look at that yellow wall which has been created at the Signal Iduna Park. Will Dortmund be able to make that? Just 12 minutes left into this. Just 12 minutes left into this. If you are from the continent, you can get it on the Sony Live platform. And if you are wanting those cheeky piggy links, get our social media links, which are there on those video descriptions as well as in the chat, which has been pinned. Get it from there. Lineups which had a discussion of that. Barcelona finally with this lineups, will they be making that? Barcelona with the lineups, will they be making that? Let me just have a 1 minute of break and I will be just coming back. Just give me a 1 minute break. I'll be taking a short 1 minute break and be coming on to watching this. Drink water and be hydrated, my boys. Drink water and be hydrated. Give me a short 1 minute break. I will be taking a short 1 minute break and will be coming. Stay tuned to it. Yes, we are again coming back to this. Watching this game will be make that big. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes. Who is going to win that? Who is going to win that? Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this stream, give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes on that poll section. Who is finally going to get that? With that 4-goal lead, are Barcelona comfortably getting that? With that 2-goal lead, will PSG get that comfortable? Give your votes. I had that loop break because watching this game, we want some sort of expectations from Dortmund to be coming on. We want some sort of expectations from Dortmund to be coming on. We want that expectations to be coming on. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes. Yes, the audio section is also looking this game will make that big. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this. Yes, the audio as well as the video quality is looking good. But how are things going to be turning? How are things going to be turning? Dortmund has got changes, but will they be good enough? Because considering if Dortmund are going to concede more, I don't think that will be the aspect which they will be wanting. I don't think that will be the aspect which we will be wanting to happen in this game. Oh my god, look at that Fury lineup. Barcelona with the likes of Lewandowski, with the likes of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, they both are coming, but the yellow wall, look at that. The BVB are roaring high at the Signal Iduna Park. The BVB are roaring high. Oh my goodness. Will that be a one-way or will that be a two-way? That is the thing which we are wanting that to happen. That is the thing which we want in this to be happening. My goodness. Champions League nights are late and we have to get that. Champions League nights are long and we have to wait for that. We have to wait for that incoming. We have to wait for that incoming. My goodness. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that poll section. Who is going to get that win? Which has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes. Barcelona, PSG, Aston Villa, Dortmund. Who are going to make that? My goodness. Will Dortmund be able to make that? Will Dortmund be able to make that? That is also a big question which is lying. That is also a big question which is lying. We had the discussion of the lineups, we had the predictions as well made. Those of you who are watching now, you can just scroll back and get those. But we will be making that or good. Will that be the factor? Will that be the factor counting in this? Look at that. The men in yellow are looking coming on. The men in yellow are looking coming onto the pitch. They make that thing to be happening. Will they be getting that big win out of that to be coming on? My goodness. How are things going to be turning? Dortmund, if they get those exits, the next season they won't be even playing the Champions League. They are down to the 8th spot. Can Dortmund finally make that? Can Aston Villa make that? Look at that. Hansi Flick, my man, he is on the sidelines and it is Nico Kovac. Game is about to begin. 2 minutes left into that. Give your votes, guys. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes. Who is finally going to get that big win? Nish, the Champions League anthem is now being played. The Champions League anthem is now being played. Will this Champions League anthem be the last one for Dortmund? Will this Champions League anthem be the last one for Dortmund? I mean, the next upcoming season, they won't be playing that. The next upcoming season, they won't be playing that. Big questions on mind. Big questions on mind. Will Gurase get more than 10 goals this Champions League season? Will Rafinha equal the records of Lionel Messi getting 18 today? That will also be the fact which we'll be looking at. We will be also looking at. The game is about to begin. Just 1 minute left into that. Just 1 minute left into that. Just 1 minute left into this game to begin. Just 1 minute left into this. And we finally make that to be counting. Can we finally make that to be counting? That is also the thing which we'll be watching. That is also the thing which we'll be watching. Wilhelm Buxmuller, in his memories, there is a 1 minute of silence on the pitch. But talking about this, the referee on the pitch is Murzauri Mariani. That man, he will be getting those factors enough. Will those factors be good enough? Will those factors be good enough? The referee on the page, Maurizio Mariani, will that factor be good enough for today or not? Why Pedri hasn't been picked in the lineups, Javi being chosen, and the unavailability of Balde on the left backs and the not picking up of Martinez. That is what Hans Flick has made those key changes in the team, but he has got the availability of Dani Olmo as well. Dani Olmo is available for those substitutions. But Borussia Dortmund, on the other hand, getting three centre backs. Sule on the starting lineups, he is the man who is staying there. As well as bringing in Jan Koto, Svensson and Benzibeni both on the left mid pitch. Gross is the man who has come up big. Gross is the man who has come up big. How are things going to unfold? How are things going to unfold? Those of you who are watching this, give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that whole section. Give your votes that whether Dortmund will be dumped or will they be making that. Look at that. It is the likes of Kunde and Yamal both are having a talk so early. The game hasn't yet begun. They are having that talk. Oh my goodness. But this was the story of the previous leg. Barcelona 4, Dortmund 0. This was the story which was on that first leg. The game is about to begin. The game is about to begin. The referee, Maurizio Mariani, is now looking at his watch, setting his time. The game has begun. The game has begun. Oh my goodness. Big uphill task for Dortmund to be making that. There's a back pass to Kubarsi. Agency getting that move. Getting Araujo now. Kubarsi again. Dortmund are not getting those pressing moments. Dortmund are not even trying to get those early pressing moments. They are relying Barcelona to make their first move. They are relying, Nico Kovac's men are relying on Barcelona to make that move. Edemi has won that. Denied. It is now Yamal moving forward. De Jong passes that. Martin on the left backs is now having that run. Passes that to Rafinha. De Jong, Araujo, Kubarsi are staying deep, as well as the likes of Koundé. It is the likes of Martin on the left backs. He is seen raising high up. It is the likes of Martin on the left backs. He is staying a bit high on the pitch. How are things going to unfold for today's game? That will be the one factor which will be raising on the mind of many fans. The game has kicked off 1 minute 30 seconds into the watch. And yes, those cheeky piggy links has also been shared. Those of you who are watching this, get it from the social media links. It is a ball being placed inside the box. Rafinha. But no, Kobel is the man aware. Kobel is the man. He is staying aware. Gurase, will he get more than 10 goals? Rafinha, will he equal the records of Lionel Messi? But down by 4 goals, that will be a big mountain to climb for Dortmund at their home of Signal Iduna Park. That is a clearance coming in from the pitch. Barcelona has considered a throw for that. Hansi Flick, look at my man, Hansi Flick. Look at him. This Porto passing that to Maximilian Bayer. Block from Martin and a throw coming in. Porto takes that quick, passes to Felix Mecha. Mecha was slow and it is Lopez finally directing the game to the right wings. Koundé, Yamal, Pancibiani this time gets that block good. Pancibiani has to prove it against the likes of Lamine Yamal. Pancibiani has to prove it against Lamine Yamal. That is also a big uphill task which has got to be seeing into this, because in the first leg, Pancibiani was a disaster. Still, Barcelona dominating the possession and making those passes, quick passes. Koundé getting to Yamal. Diemi getting some interceptions, but back to De Jong. Yamal, look at that fluidity. Yamal, Koundé, with the likes of Lopez now joining them. Back passes that to Araujo. Araujo has a missed pass. Maximilian Bayer has got that. He takes a shot. That is a lame one, my boy. Take the position, make it good. It was Araujo who had a bad missed pass moment, because it was the likes of Martinez who was there on the starting lineups for the first leg. But now it is the likes of Araujo. It was a big opportunity. Maximilian Bayer could have got that big opportunity to be converting. You have to get that mentality, my boy. You need opportunities, you have to get that. It is Anton now winning that tackle on the mid pitch. The referee Maurizio Mariani has now asked for a free kick. Quick one from Barcelona, but blocked by Anton again. Now it is Ediemi. Will he pass that to Gurase? On the left, you have that assist coming on, boy. Look at that. He passes that. It is inside the box. Gurase, will he get that touch? My goodness. My goodness, Signal Iduna Park has already starting showing the game for the Dortmund BVB, but they are not getting those clinical moments. It was the same thing which happened in the first leg. It was the same thing which was happening in the first leg. It was back to back two big opportunities. Maximilian Bayer getting those tackles. Now it was Guirassy getting that. Not clinical enough to get that one goal. Big mountain to climb. 4 goals is a big mountain to climb. You have to get that few upsets early to be counting into this season in the Champions League. You have to get that counting good. The throw from Yankaute. Shule now trying to get across. Header one. Bayer gets that. A shot being taken. What a baby shot you are talking, my boy Stevenson. You are playing this at the Signal Iduna Park. 3 of the shots being taken. One from Bayer, one from Guirassy. Now the third one from Stevenson. It is again Jan Cordo getting that. Maximilian Bayer, Guirassy, a shot to be taken. Gross, Ediemi, take that shot. Guirassy, my man, what is that going? Ediemi gets that across. Maximilian Bayer. My goodness, if you are not going to count that, if you are not going to count these passes inside the box to be happening, it is not going to happen. In just 6 minutes, there were 4 opportunities which Dortmund could have made that. It could have been made. It could have been made. A single goal would have been got. Oh my goodness. The referee is now moving to the sidelines. Or that is some sort of injuries. That is some sort of injuries. Look at that, how it happened. It was a collision on the pitch which happened. Yeah, and Cordo getting that against the likes of Javi on the pitch. It was a collision inside the box. Will that be given a penalty moment? Will that be given a penalty moment? Look at that. It is the referee on the page, Maurizio Mariani. No, denied. Again, that is a corner going to be coming. Again, that is a corner going to be incoming. Guirassy has got those clinical opportunities, but not getting that. Quick corner being taken. Cross by Stevenson inside the box. Sezensi this time gets that goal. Sezensi this time gets that goal. It is Yamal again trying with his left footer to Rafinha. I mean, Barcelona shouldn't have that pressure in them, but they are playing at the Signal Iduna Park. Will they concede 4? Because talking about these stats, look at that. It is already 3 shots Dortmund has taken, but baby shots. They were those baby shots which Dortmund has taken into this. And if they are not getting that, it is now Bayer getting that cross. Ediemi, no, denied by Kunde. Denied by Kunde. The crosses are seen coming, the passes are seen happening. But still, Dortmund are looking not clinical enough to get a goal. It is too gross. It has been a foul. It has been a foul. That is a foul. Ademi, my God, Gross has been fouled on the box. Sezensi has got that collision. My goodness, what is this referee doing? Look at that. Ademi got that on the edge of the box. He passed that. Gross made that, but Szczęsny got that tackle. It is Gross who touched the ball first. It is Gross who touched the ball first. Look at that. It was a tackle from Szczęsny, not even touching the ball, and it is inside the box. My goodness. I think that is a straight penalty to be incoming. That is a straight penalty to be incoming. It was some sort of bad decisions. Ispen Iskas was the referee on the pitch on the first leg. Now it is the likes of Maurizio Mariani, the referee on the pitch. Is that a penalty? Oh my god, it is a potential penalty. VR check which is going on. Mariazo Mariani. Oh my god, that is a penalty. He has shown that is a penalty. The second leg. After that, VR Mariazo Mariani has given that penalty. Make it big, my boys. Make it big. Make it big. Gurasi going to take that. Mariazo Mariani has to keep his eyes on the edge of the box as well. Borassi, will he make that? He has missed penalties in the Champions League this season, but he has got 10 goals. Get that goal, clinical boy, get that goal. Borassi takes that. It is a chip-in shot. He nets it in just 10 minutes. Dortmund has got that. One goal. Still, it is an uphill task. Still, it is an uphill task and it has been made. Dortmund with one goal. That is a penalty which they got it inside the box. Gross made that statement good and Grass didn't it. Look at that. Stezensi had no moment. But already Dortmund has taken 5-4 on target. Look at the stats. Game is now proceeding. Lewandowski passing that to Lopez. Now it is to Rafinha. Back to Martin again. Will Gurasse now getting that 11th goal of this season. Gurasse now on that 11th goal. Rafinha now on that 12th goal. Still 3 more goals. They have to compete for those 3 more goals. They have to compete for those 3 more goals. Sule has won that. He is speeding high up. But the ball is off for a throw. I think this first goal, it will be some sort of water to be drinking. And Dortmund fans will get some sort of boost. But still, 3 more goals. Oh my god, we have got that vote. PSG are going to get that. We have got that vote that PSG are going to get that. But what is that which is happening in the pitch of football? PSG and Aston Villa. Look at that. Oh my god, PSG has got that one goal. Look at that. PSG has got that one goal. Aston Villa is going to get crashed. Aston Villa is going to get crashed. Unai Emery's men are going to be knocked out because now it is a 3-0 difference. But over here, we are watching that Dortmund and Barcelona, our main watch-along thing, which is still happening. Our main watch-along thing, which is still happening. Thank you for putting your votes on the chat section. Nico Kovac looking tensed on the sidelines. Will he be making that? Can Dortmund get 3 more goals, boys? Can Dortmund get 3 more goals? It will be a big one to watch. If that is going to happen, it will be a big one to watch. Because they were the finalists of the last season. And the next season, they haven't got those hopes of playing in the Champions League unless and until they are playing into the finals. Unless and until. Now it is a tackle one. Maximilian Bayer dropping back. It is Gross being tackled by De Jong. Counting the numbers. It is Dortmund who are counting the numbers good against Barcelona so far. And look at the stats. It was Barcelona who was trying to dominate with the possession in the first 5 minutes. Already 6 shots taken, 4 on target, 1 goal by a penalty. That is where Dortmund are not making that good. That is the place where Dortmund didn't make that good. Because in the first leg, look at that. It was also those 13 shots they took, 3 on target. Not that clinical to get a single goal. If this score line of the first leg, it would have been Barcelona 4 or it would have been the likes of Dortmund getting 2-3 goals. That deficit would have been a different factor to be counting. But 4 goals down is still a big uphill task. 4 goals down and making that first goal, still 3 to go. It is a big uphill task. Still, they have to make that. It is Koto again. He has passed that to Maximal by offside trap. The flags aren't raised. My goodness, now it has been raised. A very late decision that was taken by the referee on the sidelines. Yes, that VR decision was taken where Gross wasn't offside. He was good into that offside trap and winning that penalty. Look at that. The men in yellow and black, the BVB fans are making it looking good. Still 3 more goals. It is Yamal getting that inside the box. A tackle being won. Now it is Jan Cordo winning it. Passes that to Maximilian Bayer. Bayer has to show some character. He passes back to Mecha. Mecha has got that to Gurasse. Now it is the likes of Pascal Gross. Will he be making that? He gets it. Oh my goodness. Pascal Gross has got that second goal. The flags were raised. Oh yes, he was offside. 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 You have to get that offside trap good, my boys. It is those high centre back lineups, offside traps, which Barcelona is still playing, and that is the way where you can concede goals. You have to make that happen. Was the free kick being taken for that offside? Passes to Martin. De Jong. De Jong to Martin again. Martin gets Rafina on the roll. Back to Martin again. Kubarsi. Sezensi. I think Barcelona are feeling their pressure on the legs. The passes which they are making, they are feeling that pressure on the legs. Is Martin getting to Rafina? Rafina trying to change the wings to Yamal, but Yamal just couldn't get a touch to that. Yamal just couldn't get that touch to that. My goodness, how are things going to be? Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. And on the other hand, it is the likes of PSG and Aston Villa, first leg 3-1, and now it is PSG getting their first goal. Hakimi is the man. Ashraf Hakimi has got that first goal. Now PSG on an aggregate 4-1 up against Aston Villa. My goodness. But we are more concerned over this game to be happening. We are more concerned about this game to be happening. Rezo Mirani is having some sort of talks with Martin on the left back. The unavailability of Balde has brought Martin into the first lineup for Hansi Flick's man. Nicolas Sule getting to Felix Mecha. Felix Mecha is staying most of the times on those defensive mid-pitch, but Gross is the man. He is playing those box-to-box moments. There's Anton passing that to Benzibiani. Svensson getting a touch to that. Mecha wasn't that good. Now Lewandowski has got that. He passes that to Lopez. Lopez, will he take that shot? He goes for Rafina. Rafina on the edge of the box. To the far post. It was Rabona. But now in the hands of Gregor Kobel. Kobel gets that. A good one to Felix Mecha. Felix Mecha to Ediemi. Ediemi, Bayer, Guirassy are staying up. It is from Ediemi, left foot across coming in, but the ball has been blocked by Kunde at the cost of a corner. This is that corner which is going to be coming, my boy. This is that corner which is going to be coming. Those fans need to get this big. BVB fans need to get that rolling big and get that rolling high. This won't be. It is 19 minutes on the watch. It is that corner now being taken. A quite good goal. It is header straight. My God. Anton took that header. Oh, my mistake. It wasn't Anton. It was Benzibaini taking that header, but straight into the hands of Szczęsny. Szczęsny passes that to Kunde. De Jong. De Jong trying to find Yamal, but Svensson is doing a good job man marking Yamal on the pitch. Svensson is doing a good job man marking Yamal on the pitch. He is doing that job good. Ademi needs to be clinical. Svensson is doing that good job against Lamine Yamal. Back to De Jong. Varsi. Varsi gets that to Rafinha. Rafinha is up against Sule. Inside the box. Rafinha goes. Blocked from Nicolas Sule. So now the job is left with Nicolas Sule to safeguard the nets of the yellow and black, or the yellow wall, to high up against Rafinha, and on the other hand, it is the likes of Svensson who is doing his job against Lamine Yamal. But why Pedri not picked up in the starting lineup for today is the question. That is Rafinha getting that bad. Look at that. Rafinha got that bad. It was a throw to Rafinha, but the ball is off the lines. It is again a throw. Sule, long throw that is. Gurase being tackled from behind. The referee on the pitch, Maurizio Mariani, is now having some sort of talk. Sweat already looking on the faces of Barcelona players. Sweat already seen coming from the faces of Barcelona players. Already they have started sweating. Is that the pressure which is building up on them? They are mounting up that pressure to be counting. Is Rafinha getting that to the far post? My goodness, a block that is. Lamine Yamal this time takes that to the far post, but the offside traps way high up, and Lopez couldn't collect that ball. A goal kick. Gregor Kobel now passes that. Anton Sule. Clearance that is from Anton to the mid page. Gurase collects that good. Back pass that is. Yamal getting it. This is the second time Yamal has been getting that big against Svensson. It is also the likes of Pascal Gross winning that tackle. Lopez being tackled good. Maximilian Bayer on the mid-page interception. Anton now getting that. Jan Koto. Back pass to Sule. Sule has a missed pass. It should have been a lofted one. Nicolas Sule should have given that a lofted one to Maximilian Bayer on the page. It is a win from Felix Mecha. Now Gross moving high up, passes that to Ademi in the wrong direction, but then also Ademi collects that good. Cross coming in from Ademi. No, Kunde is the man. Ademi is making those good dribbles on the left wings, no denying the fact. Back pass that is to Benzibaini, crossing the ball to the far post for Bayer. Sule this time getting Jan Koto. It is inside the box, getting from the likes of Benzibaini, but straight into the hands of Szczęsny. Things are looking cooking. Dortmund are looking cooking something out of it, but still, if he goes down, it is a big uphill task which they have to get. It is still a big uphill task of 3 goals which they have to get that. The ball is again off for throw, and suddenly the whole of the Barcelona squad are looking bit nervous and shaky in making those passes. They are not even getting those first passes to be counting good. Kobel now this time goes high up. Gross, Gurase, Maximilian Bayer. But what is the involvement of Maximilian Bayer? Look at that. Back to Szczęsny. Bayer is looking bit disappointment, guys. Maximilian Bayer is looking bit disappointment. He has to perform those legs to be incoming. Maximilian Bayer needs to be performing those legs to be incoming. It has been passed to Rafina, changing the direction to Yamal. De Jong. Now Barcelona are having that possession. Yamal trying to find Lopez. Gross getting that. Gross is doing that big job on that center mid pitch. Pascal Gross is making that good aspect on the pitch. Look at that. Pascal Gross is doing that hard work. It is quite evident. Still 25 minutes in the first half are up and 3 more goals for that equalizer. It is becoming that big uphill task still Dortmund has got. Vianney getting that to Svensson, back to Kobel. So Gurase getting that 11th goal of the Champions League, adding one more to his tally this season. Gross, Svensson, miss pass, build up being delayed. Build up being delayed. Anton, Nicolas Sule, back to Anton. Anton is trying to get that. A miss pass. Lewandowski has now got De Jong. It is the likes of Lopez. Lopez has missed that. My goodness. It was a big opportunity. Lopez could have got that, but the flags were raised anyhow. The flags were raised. But where was Rafina? Look at that. It was Yamal who was there. It was Lopez who was there. Both of them were offside. Hansi Flick is not looking happy with the performance of his players. Hansi Flick on the sidelines for this first 26 minutes of the gameplay is not looking happy with his players. Hansi Flick on the sidelines is not looking happy with his players. It is a pass to Gurase. Kunde getting that clearance. Jules Kunde getting that clearance against Gurase, but why is he down to the pitch? Why is Jules Kunde down to the pitch? Was he offside? No, he wasn't. Flags were not. Oh, yes, the flags were raised. The flags were raised. He was offside. But what is that Jules Kunde he is trying to pretend on those down to the pitch moments? What is he trying to pretend on the pitch? Look at that. And on the other hand, PSG 3-1 in the first leg. In the second leg, oh my goodness, PSG has scored their second goal in the second leg and an aggregate of 5-1. They are crushing Unai Emery's all hopes of getting the Champions League this season as well as in the next season. Aston Villa, I don't think they will be making it to the Champions League as well. What is that? Unai Emery picking up Asensio, getting the likes of Rashford. What all transfers he got? He got Malen. Malen, if he would have been at Dortmund, it would have been a good one. Malen, if he would have been at Dortmund, it could have been a big one. But Dortmund, on the other hand, has never won a game against Barcelona. Dortmund, on the other hand, has never got a win against Barcelona in the Champions League history. I mean, 6 games being played in between these two teams, 4 won by Barcelona and 2 draw, but not a win yet registered for Dortmund against Barcelona. Now it is a cross, a free kick being taken. Pascal Gross going to take that. He go for those curlers. Gurase is pointing on to that far post. Gross is going to take that. He raises his hand. He is going for that. A header. My God. Maximilian Bayer. I am saying that. Maximilian Bayer has to be clinical. That was offside. That was nonetheless offside. He has to get it into the nets. Maximilian Bayer, if he is playing that, he has to get it into the nets. It is those big opportunities which Dortmund are getting that. Look at that. It is 8 shots which they have taken, only 6 on target. Still, Maximilian Bayer is that young guy, 22 years of age, but he has to make those characters look good. He has to get those characters look good on the page. He has to get those characters look good. 3-0 is still that uphill task. What a clinical backheel it was from Lewandowski. Rafina getting that. Sule gets that good clearance. My goodness. Nicolas Sule is having that moment. He is having that moment. Again, it is the likes of some forward run being made. Lopez trying to get it past. But look at that. Nicolas Sule making that good. Look at that block. Nicolas Sule got that block. It is those. Oh my god, Nicolas Sule blocked that ball and he just dropped Refina at that perfect position. Now it is for Edemi getting that to Gorase. It is the likes of Adeyemi and it is the likes of Maximilian Bayer where Dortmund are suffering. It is the likes of Maximilian Bayer and it is the likes of Adeyemi where Dortmund are suffering in this game. Apart from that, the stats are looking good, but still 3 goals down, a big uphill task left for them. It is now Yamal moving high up, goes for that far post. Lewandowski this time gets that. Nicolas Sule and Lewandowski are having that good awareness of each other, playing for Bayern for a long time as well as in the Bundesliga. Martin this time gets that to Rafina. Rafina inside the box. Block that is. My goodness. Ben Sibieni this time gets that block. So good. Oh my god. Dortmund are rolling high at the Signal Iduna Park. But still 3 goals to go. Big uphill task. They still have that big uphill task. 31 minutes, 45 seconds on the watch. And on back passes to Kobel. Now Barcelona are staying high up. They have been getting that feel of the game. It is a pass to Adeyemi and Sigbiani getting that good, but the involvement of Adeyemi and Maximilian Bayam time and again saying that both of them are not looking good in shape. Anton makes that pressure move high up against Lopez. Yamal, I mean, the pairing of Lopez and De Jong on the mid pitch is looking disastrous for Barcelona. But on the other hand, the pairing of Adeyemi and Maximilian Bayer from Dortmund, both of them on those wings are looking disastrous, not getting those moments. Varsi getting to Martin, pass from Martin, Sule, miss passes happening, miss passes happening. You can't afford that time to be giving for those missed passes to be happening. It is those exit matches which you are playing. And down now by 3 goals, you have to make that. Now it is Gross trying to get Gorase. Vasti this time gets that header block. Lopez trying to find Yamal on the pitch. Back to Kunde. Arajo. Give your votes, guys. Those of you who are watching that, give your votes. It is De Jong. Rafina. Rafina now deep playing. Passes that to Lopez. Kubarski. Kunde. Kunde gets Xavi. A foul that is from Benzibeni, but a good work. That is a good work. He stopped Lopez from that. It was a good job. Involvement of Benzibeni and Gross on that section of the pitch, it is creating those menaces against Barcelona. But in the mid pitch, the likes of Lopez and De Jong is looking a bit disastrous. Both of them are looking disastrous. It is De Jong who has got that tackle against Felix Mecha, and he has been shown that yellow card. De Jong now being shown that yellow card. It was Felix Mecha. Look at that foul. It should have been a red card. Look at that foul. De Jong made that tackle and Felix Mecha is down on the pitch. It should have been a red card, but the referee Mirza Mariani now gives that first yellow card of this game, and it is for Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong has been given that first yellow card. It is that first yellow card which has been given, but the likes of Ademi and Maximilian Bayer, I am not getting these two men good in shape. Gracia has got 11 in 14 so far, but this penalty which he got that, it was a perfect. Seventy was nowhere near that. But will this single goal be that happiness which BBB fans will be carrying back home? At home at SIGNAL IDUNA PARK, it is now 36 minutes on the watch. It is Stevenson passing that to Benzibiani. Getting high up. It is Gross. Grasse gets that to Anton. Sule. Back to Kobel. Benzibiani again. Getting that to Stevenson. This time has got Ademi. Ademi is there. Give that cross first time, my boy. Give that cross first time. How many opportunities Ademi and Maximilian Bayer need to be counting? Give that cross on the first time, and you are making those crosses so late. It is Ademi now getting that to Gross. Gross trying to find Maximilian Bayer, but blocked by Kubasi. Lewandowski now, he has got that position on the left wings, passes that. Lopez, Martin, De Jong, Maximilian Bayer, and the likes of Ademi has to be clinical. They has to be clinical if Dortmund wants to get something into this game to be cooking. If Dortmund wants something good to be cooking, it is the likes of Ademi and Maximilian Bayer where they have to get it clinical. Look at the stats. It is already 8 shots being taken, 6 on target, but only a penalty goal is where Dortmund is in suffering. Maximilian Bayer for today's game is not at all looking good in shape. Maximilian Bayer is not looking at all in good in shape, as well as the likes of Ademi. Ademi could have made that cross, but he was late and he took that shot to the four post against agency. How is that going to be? It is now Rafina inside the box. He gets drops in. Sule this time getting that move good, but Lewandowski is the man. He is not staying high up at times. Look at that. It is Lewandowski the man who is not staying high up at times. Gross has been marvelous. Benzibiani has been marvelous. Gurasse has got a goal. But Maximilian Bayer and Ademi have to make some presence felt. Have to make some presence felt on the pitch. They are worth of getting that. They have to make that presence felt. It is already 39 minutes. Only a single goal. Team more. They have to get Kunde inside the box, gets it, but the legs of Barcelona players are shaking. Their legs are shaking. They are under pressure. But why? Why are Barcelona players under pressure? They still have got those 3 goals lead. But why is that pressure which they are feeling at the SIGNAL IDUNA PARK? My goodness. Still, they have got those three goal lead and they are getting those pressure moments. The ball has been thrown. Yang Koto trying to find Maximilian Bayer. I think that throw has to be taken again. Oh my god, oh my god. Look at that yellow flag. Look at those tifos. Signal Iduna Park is rolling. Felix Mecha. That is a tackle for Martin, but the ball is off for a throw. The ball is off for a throw. The stats are looking big one. Ademi getting that down on the pitch. Clear from Anton. Lewandowski not being picked good enough. Stevenson again making that move. Ademi has been fouled on the pitch. Ademi has been fouled on the pitch, but the referee asked for the game to continue. But what was that? What was that? Maurizio Mariani now asked for the game to continue, but Ademi was fouled on that pitch. Look at that. 40 minutes, 30 seconds on the watch. Chelsea this time gets that clearance. It is Dortmund who are dominating. My goodness, the whole of the world were saying that it is likes of Barcelona who have been lethal, but look at that. It is Dortmund who are dominating this game, but still. How is that going to be? Now Barcelona has won that free kick. 41 minutes, 20 seconds on the watch. Martin back passes to Kubarsi again. Araujo, Kunde trying to find Lopez and Yamal. Benzibiani gets that clearance scored. Benzibiani gets that clearance scored. Dortmund are cooking, but not getting clinical. They are not getting Virase involved in those attacks. It is the likes of Ademi and Maximilian Bayer who are not making those statements bold enough to get this. Is to Lewandowski being handled good inside the box by Benzibiani. Maurizio Mariani now asks Lewandowski. Lewandowski is playing against Dortmund. My goodness. Lewandowski is playing against Dortmund. It is Hansi Flick, his manager. What an irony and what a situation. It is Maximilian Bayer getting that. Cross is also moving in. Will he get that cross? Look at that. Maximilian Bayer is not making that statement good. Maximilian Bayer is not making that statement good. It is the thing which you have to be clinical. Ademi, look at those late runs, what he was waiting for. Maximilian Bayer and Ademi, they have wasted enough chances. They have wasted those enough chances. They could have easily got at least 3 goals as of now. They could have easily got 3 goals as of now, but they have wasted those big chances. Have wasted those big chances. It is inside the box. Again, a corner being given. Maurizio Mariani is the referee on the pitch. His decisions are looking good, but in the previous leg, it was the likes of Ispan Iskas. All his decisions were such horror show for the first 20 minutes. Now again, the corner being taken in favor of Dortmund. They make that. Pascal Gross, the man going to take that. 44 minutes on the watch. This has to be that second goal if they are going to be counting in the second half. Ross takes that good. Lewandowski gets that clearance. Kamal has got that. Ademi this time, will he pass that? He is moving on solely himself, sole control. Ademi takes that shot. Poor form from Ademi. That is a poor form. Ademi is having a poor form, and it is what it is reflecting. He just takes that shot, but nowhere near the woodwork. No worries for Sejensi, but already look at that. It is 10 shots they have taken, 7 on target. Many big opportunities were there. Dortmund had those big opportunities to be incoming. 3 big chances were there. If you are down by 4 goals and you have got 3 big chances, you have to make that happen. You have to make that happen. It is not happening. It is not happening. They are not interested. Adeyemi and Maximilian Bayer are not interested in playing Champions League. Maximilian Bayer and Adeyemi are not interested in playing the Champions League. 45 minutes are up, 2 minutes of added time. Look at that. Benzema kept that ball good, but it was that last touch from Lamine Yamal. But why is Lamine Yamal being such a good player pretending on the box that it was a corner? 45 minutes are up, 2 minutes of added time in the first half. Sule, Felix Mecha now this time gets Maximilian Bayer. Get this opportunity, boys. Get this opportunity if you are going to play anymore. Look at that, Maximilian Bayer. What is he trying to do on the pitch? What is Maximilian Bayer is trying to get on the pitch? Big opportunities are converting in, but Maximilian Bayer is not getting that. 22 years of age from Hoffenheim Academy at Borussia Dortmund. This season, he has played those 41 games for the past 2 seasons, 9 goals, but Maximilian Bayer is not looking that perfect in shape. And as well as the likes of Adeyemi not getting anything good, not getting anything good. 23 years of age, but he has been looking disastrous. So many of the opportunities you are getting, 3 big chances you are happening. You're down by 4 goals and you're playing like that baby shots. You don't deserve to play those Champions League. You don't deserve to play those Champions League. And what is wrong with Adeyemi after his injuries? I mean, he made those come back into the starting lineups because it is Malen who is not available, and the referee Marazzo Mariani has blown the whistle. This is the end of the first half. This is the end of the first half. It has been a horror show from Dortmund. It has been a horror show from Dortmund. They have made that bad. They have really made that bad. This is the way you are going to play the Champions League. You don't deserve to play the Champions League. Sit in the Bundesliga and play your baby shots over there. You are already on the 8th spot and you are not making that big counting. And how do you afford to get that? Look at that, 10 shots being taken, 7 on target, 3 of the big chances were there. It could have been some sort of 2 or 3 goals to be happening. 2 big chances they have missed. Dortmund has missed 3 big chances. It was a penalty only they have got. 2 of the big opportunities were there. But I would be counting that 3 big opportunities, Adeyemi and the likes of Maximilian Bayer, have been disastrous. If you are playing such football in the Champions League, you get those knockouts. You get those knockouts and get those exits and play in those Bundesliga. That is what you deserve. That is what BBB deserves. The way they have played into this, look at the stats. 10. My goodness, in the Champions League, restricting Barcelona with the defensive aspects. 1 shot which Barcelona has got, none on target. That is not what Dortmund needs to do at this time. On the other hand, PSG and Aston Villa, it is also the halftime. Villains have scored 1. Oh my goodness, it is still a man who has scored that. But PSG now again 5-2 is the aggregate. Oh my goodness. A big clash is happening over here, Dortmund and Barcelona. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Still a big uphill task. It is left for Borussia Dortmund to be making it. Will they be able to do that? Will they be able to do that? Because missing such opportunities from Adeyemi and the likes of Maximilian Bayer, I don't think Dortmund needs to play the Champions League at least this season as well as the next season. They haven't been good in getting those moments good. Ademi and Maximilian Bayer, it is the likes of Nico Kovac who has to make some sort of substitutions if he wants to be upcoming big in the second half. He has got the likes of Raina, he has got the likes of Brand. Brand has been a disaster in the first leg. It is Watson, it is Oscan on the mid pitch. Giddens and Duran Ville, will they be the substitutions early on? Will Nico Kovac make that? We'll be watching this second half as well. But give me a 1 minute of short break. I will have some water and I will be going for that loo break. I need that break. 45 plus 2, 47 minutes of non-stop talking. I need that 1 minute of break and I'll be just back in 1 minute. Do stay tuned to it and we will be analyzing the second half. I mean the first half coming back in just 2 minutes. And give your votes, guys. Those of you who are watching this, give your vote. Who is going to get that? things are not going to count for Dortmund. The things are not going to count for Dortmund if they are going to play this way. The things are not going to count for Dortmund if they are going to play this way. In the Champions League, you are playing that Champions League. And yes, we are back from that short break because we need those breaks to be incoming because 45 plus 2 minutes of added time the players were playing on the pitch and we were continuously doing that non-stop talking. It is those requirement of fresh energy which is required and we took that break. But look at that, look at the stats of this. I mean, how is that going to be? Ademi and Maximilian Bayer, they need to get those substitutions. Just bringing in those lineups. I mean, look at the lineups which Dortmund are having in this. Look at that. The way they are playing over there, they are looking that making good, but the likes of Ademi and Maximilian Bayer, I am not satisfied with their performances. They have been getting those big opportunities, but not getting that clinical enough to get it into the nets. Stevenson and Benzibeni are doing that marvelous job on that left part of the centre backs as well as on the mid pitch. Pascal Gross has been that good and big one. Pascal Gross has been that big one on the pitch. Felix Mecha, oh my god, why is my neck having that pain so much? It is Jan Koto on the right mid pitch and Nicolas Sule denying any opportunities for Refina, Benzibeni and Yamal. A fight is going on. Benzibeni is doing his job good. Anton on the mid pitch blocking Lewandowski and Felix Mecha on the pitch denying Lopez of any big opportunities, but it is the likes of Felix Mecha, Ademi and Maximilian Bayer where Niko Kovac has to put that stress. It is the likes of that place where Niko Kovac has to put that stress coming onto the pitch. But adding more to that, look at the lineups for Barcelona. This way, Yamal hasn't been seen much into the attacks because Barcelona still has got those 3 goals in their hand. Lewandowski being blocked by Anton much. Lopez is the man where Hansi Flick needs to put that stress. Pairing of Xavi and De Jong, I think why Hansi Flick didn't pick Pedri into this. I just couldn't make that. Why Hansi Flick didn't pick Pedri. Maybe Pedri couldn't have got those big performances in the training sessions. That is the reason why Pedri hasn't been picked. But the presence of Xavi hasn't been that good enough. Araujo also. Why Hansi Flick picking Araujo over here? It was Martinez who was there. Was Martinez injured? No. But it was the likes of Martin on the left backs. He has been doing his job good. The absence of Balde, it was the presence of Martin on the pitch. Both of them were looking so good. That was the lineup. But looking at more into this game, the detailed aspects, look at that. The players with this, which they have performed. Kunde doing a decent job, but Ademi not doing that. I mean, if you look at that, the right backs of Barcelona and the left wings of Dortmund fight which is going on. Ademi against Kunde. It was some opportunities Ademi was getting, but not getting those passes, not getting those crosses at the perfect time. Stevenson and Benzibeni against Yamal, good job. De Jong on the mid pitch is looking decent, but he is already on a yellow card. Benzibeni, Anton, Sule up against the likes of Yamal, Lopez and Rafinha. Sule has been blocking Rafinha good, but Martin has been doing his job good. It is the likes of Maximilian Bayer where he has to come up big. He has been getting those opportunities. I mean, to look at the aggregate of this, look at that. Still 3 goals for Dortmund to get equalizer. Not a win. It is still 3 goals where Dortmund has to get those equalizers. But this stats are more disheartening. 10 shots taken at home, 7 on target, 3 big chances. Dortmund has been bad. Dortmund has been really bad in this game. No denying the fact Dortmund has been really bad in this game. 155 passes, 83% accuracy, that is also less. 5 fouls, four corners, headers coming in but not picking in. I think it is the reason why Martinez hasn't been picked by Hansi Flick, and Arau is the man because they were expecting those aerial crosses, those passes to be incoming, but not making that happen, not making that happen good enough to be talking on the pitch, not making that happen good enough to be talking on the pitch. That is where Hansi Flick's men are just. Look at that. It was Maximilian Bayer who takes that shot so far from the box. It was a big one. He could have got that position at home at Signal Iduna Park. Converting this to opportunities would have been his option. But Maximilian Bayer not doing that. Again, look at that. Fifth minute. Guras is so close to the nets, but he was down on the pitch. Then also he got some touch, but blocked by Sezensi. Sevenson, 6 minutes, a shot being taken, but that was a baby shot which Sevenson took. You have to take those German shots, those snipers, to be incoming if you are trying to get those equalizers of 3 goals still to go. Ademi on the 6 minute, look at that. It was a miss inside the box. Ademi takes that, it is a miss. Grace 6 minute, it was a miss again. Again on the 11th minute, it was the penalty which was offered, and that movement from Gross, he made that statement good. Grace converting this penalty was a good one. Benzimani, 20th minute, it was a header one, but straight into the hands of Sezensi. Rafina, 21st minute, it was a block. Nicolas Sule and the likes of Anton has been doing their job, as well as the likes of Benzimani is so good. 29th minute, Bayer again. Header was that from Bayer. He was not even offside, but then also couldn't get those conversions good. Ademi again on those 37 minutes. Look at those shots which he's taking. And this is saying that he is so close to that angle, to the first post, then also he is trying to get it into the nets. What is the reason you have to get those build-ups to the far post to be incoming? 45th minute, again, Ademi taking that. Miss. Big misses, big things happening. But again, looking at this, 10, 3 off target, 7 on target, but shots inside the box, 8 shots being taken. If you are down by 4 goals and you're playing at home and you are taking 8 shots inside the box of all 10 shots in this first half, you have to get those 2 goals at least. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That is all the story of Barcelona and Dortmund. Dortmund are making those chances counting, but not making that good. Not making that good. Some sort of substitutions Niko Kovac has to make. Niko Kovac has to make some sort of substitutions. And on the other hand, PSG and Aston Villa 2-1 is the scoreline. The game has begun over there. And PSG having 5-2 on an aggregate. But the game over here, it begins now. The second half begins now. It is Dortmund passing that from Sule high up against Bayer. Are there any changes being made? Are there any changes being made? No changes yet being made. Neither Niko Kovac nor the likes of Hansi Flick. But Hansi Flick's men are having that 3-goal lead so far. What is the need of making that? What is the need of making that? The second half is on way. Kubasi passing back to Sezensi, Arao, Kunde. Mal this time. Lopez gets it good. Lewandowski trying to pass it, but Felix Mecha gets that interception good at the right spot. Dortmund in this second half are looking dominating again. Dortmund in the second half are again looking dominant with those tackles, with those passes. It is their home advantage which they are getting it. And on the other hand, it is PSG and Aston Villa 2-1 in this second leg, and an aggregate 5-2. That is what the story is cooking over there. Unai Emery's men are definitely going to get those exits. And down passes that to Sule. Look at that. Dortmund had a match against Bayern where they got it 2 each for the reverse leg, and they were playing at the Alliance Arena. Now Grasse is the man. He has got that goal. He passes that, trying to get Gross. Felix Mecha, interception, Gross. Now it is Adiemi moving high up. He has moved it inside the box. Baby shots which you can't afford to make. Gross taking this shot, blocked by Sezensi. My goodness, Jan Koto now getting that to Gross. Back to Koto again. Gross this time, he gets that. Sezensi gets that block, but this time Gross is the man he is talking. Gross is the man he is talking. Apart from that, from Dortmund, Ademi taking those baby shots. It was a tough one for Gross to get it into the nets because there were 3 men safeguarding the nets from Barcelona, the likes of Sezensi as well. Corner that is going to be a corner that is going to be Svensson takes that to the far post inside the nets. Gurase has got that. Gurase has got that. My goodness. Gurase now getting 12th goal of the Champions League. Gurase this time gets his second goal, and it is that second goal which he has got. Oh my god, Serhao Gurase now he is also one of those top contenders of the UEFA Champions League. 12 goals. Gurase netting this second in this picture, and now it is his 12th goal which he is talking. Look at that. It was Benzibieni who kept that ball inside the lines. It was Benzibieni who kept that corner inside the lines. It is 2-0. My goodness. Are we going to see a comeback? Are we going to see a comeback? Are we going to see a comeback? Are BVB going to get those comeback? My goodness, my goodness, how can you be witnessing such a big game? And Dortmund are proving it time and again with the likes of Gurase. But we have to get some character building up. We have to get some sort of character building up from the likes of Maximilian Bayer and Ademi. Now Rafina doing the talking. He passes that inside the box. Anton this time gets that clearance. It was a hard one from Lewandowski, but the referee on the pitch, Mario Marzani, has given that a throw. Maurizio Mariani, the referee, his decisions has been good. Look at that, it is Martin who is up there for getting that throw. He takes that, taking his time. Now it is Dortmund winning that tackle. Hansi Flick must have had those hard words to his players. Hansi Flick must have had those hard words to his players, which he does. And it is Barcelona who are trying to get some dominance into this game, but they are already now up by 2 goals. It is Pascal Gross trying to find Adiemi. Block that is from the mid page. Gross and Mecha are doing their job good. It is Lopez now finding Yamal. Yamal is making his moves. Back passes that to Lopez. Now Yamal is doing the talking. Yamal gets that shot good. Antimani gets that touch. Is a block or it is an interception, but at the cost of a corner that is going to come. At the cost of a corner that is going to come. A corner that is for Barcelona. Still 2 more goals. Big uphill task that is. That is a big uphill task still left. Will Dortmund be able to make that? Those of you who are watching, give your votes, guys. Give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned on the chat. Give your votes on that poll section which has been pinned on the chat. Whether Dortmund will make that. On the other hand, Aston Villa and PSG. Oh my goodness, PSG and Aston Villa to the lions, the villains, Aston villains has been making that at their home. They have got that second goal. My goodness. Who could have dreamed that it would be some sort of opportunities trailing by 4 goals? Dortmund will be getting two, and it will be the likes of Aston Villa trailing by 2 goals and down by 2 goals against PSG in the first half. Now getting the second goal, it is McGinn and Tillemans getting that from Aston Villa. My goodness, but Nuno Mendes scoring in both the legs, it has been impressive. But we are having the watch of that game, Barcelona and Dortmund. Now it is Martin. Yeah, and Koto doing his job good. Back pass to Kunde. Kunde this time gets Lopez good inside the box. It goes. Oh my god. A counter that is. This is what you are talking. This is what you are talking. My goodness. What a counter that is. Now it is Barcelona 1, Dortmund 2. No words of recovery after this. No words of recovery after this. That is what you need to be counting. Look at that. Barcelona got 3, 1 on target, and that is a goal. Whereas Dortmund 13 shots, 10 on target. But it is some sort of bad own goal which has happened. Benzibieni getting that, but even Gregor Kobel wasn't even aware of that. It is that own goal which has happened. That is what it happens when you are struggling bad in form. That is what happens when you are struggling bad in form. The likes of the first half were the likes of Maximilian Bayer and Ademi were looking bad in shape, but Niko Kovac still not picking in Gittens as well as Duranville on the pitch. It is that high time. It is that high time. 54 minutes on the watch. Getting that own goal now from Benzibiani. Still 3 goals. My goodness. Still 3 goals. Big mountain to climb for Dortmund. Big mountain to climb. That is going to be a big mountain to be climbing. But with the likes of Ademi and the likes of Maximilian Bayer, it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Kunde getting that. Lopez, Lewandowski, prototype passes from Lewandowski, but this time Lopez, Jamal were not ready for that. Counter that is from De Jong. Felix Mecha, a foul from that. He now gets that yellow card. It was in the first half where Frankie De Jong got that yellow card, but now it is Felix Mecha who this time gets that yellow card for that tackle he made to Xavi on the pitch. Felix Mecha now getting that yellow card. 2 yellow cards in this game so far. One for Frankie De Jong, one for Felix Mecha. But Dortmund down by 3 goals. Will be they making that? It is now to Lewandowski. Anton getting that clearance good. Gross has been tackled bad, and the referee gives that free kick. A foul that is from Lopez on the mid pitch. A foul that is from Lopez on the mid pitch. That is a bad tackle from Lopez to Pascal Gross. No cards being shown. De Jong against Guirassy. No involvement from the likes of Maximilian Bayer on the pitch. There is no involvement of Maximilian Bayer on the pitch. Now it is the thing which we is talking. Pedri is coming onto the pitch. That is what we were saying from the start of the stream, that why Lopez was chosen and Pedri wasn't being picked in the starting lineup. Now Hansi Flick is making that change. He is bringing in Pedri on the pitch. Now Hansi Flick is bringing Pedri on the mid pitch. That is what could have been the lineup for the first half. But Pedri not being given those opportunities, it was Xavi who was called in. Now it is Yamal moving high up. He gets that to Rafinha. Big, heavy touch to that lofted pass straight into the hands of Gregor Kobel. Big pass from Benzibiani. Stevenson now trying to get that. Crosses that. Will Ian Cordo keep that ball into the pitch? Yes, he has kept that. He is up against Martin. Passes back. Gross. Guirassy. Back to Cordo. Who is there to assist Ian Cordo? Who is there to assist Ian Cordo for now? Felix Mecha again. And he gets that to the far wings. Stevenson trying to find Adiemi, but blocked by De Jong. De Jong has been making that good. De Jong has been making that good. Stevenson has been proving his aspects into the pitch, but the likes of Adiemi and Maximilian Bayer haven't been able to understand that good. Maximilian Bayer and the likes of Adiemi on the pitch have been not looking that good enough from any aspect. Now it is 3 more goals, 58 minutes, 14 seconds on the watch. It is Xavi, who was picked in the starting lineup from Hansi Flick, now has been substituted, and Pedri has come onto the pitch. It is a missed pass from De Jong. Felix Mecha, Maximilian Bayer taking that shot. Maximilian Bayer, does he get straight into the nets? My goodness, Maximilian Bayer needs substitution. It is Niko Kovac. He has to make those substitutions. You can't afford to get such output from Maximilian Bayer in such stages of the tournament where you are down by 4 goals in the first leg. Adiemi and Maximilian Bayer, they both have been disastrous. Disastrous. They both have been disastrous. I think now it is Niko Kovac with his pen and paper, with his assistant, now trying to get substitutions onto the pitch. On the other hand, oh my goodness, can you believe this? Aston Villa has got their third goal against PSG. My goodness. Champions League, what is that which is happening? All the nights has been so crazy enough. My goodness, Aston Villa now down by 1 goal on an aggregate. It is now they have got their third goal. It is the likes of Enzi Konsa who has got their third goal. I mean, who has been dominating that game? 13 shots, Aston Villa. Oh my goodness. Unai Emery, my predictions were that he was going to get those 6 hits. And Niko Kovac from Dortmund, my predictions were that they were going to get those 6 hits. My goodness, but still a big mountain to climb for Dortmund. That is a big mountain for Dortmund to climb if they are going to make that. Aston Villa against PSG, my goodness. Now is the aggregate of 1 goal, which is playing in that. My goodness. The Lions, the villains are making that good. The Lions, the villains are making that good. We are having the watch of this game. This is going to be a lame one. In Dortmund of so much of hard work, but in the second half, talking about they haven't been making that. In the first half, they got those 10 shots, but now on this 60th minute of the watch, they have got only 4 more shots. Still, Niko Kovac is not getting the substitutions for Adiemi and Maximilian Bayer, as well as nothing is looking cooking for Dortmund. There is a shot being taken, but what is wrong? At the Signal Iduna Park, whatever shots are being taken, none of them are going good on the pitch. I think it is Duranville who is coming onto the pitch with Mark Gittens. I think Nico Kovac is now going for those substitutions. Felix Mecha to Gross. Gross is doing a monstrous job. Gets that to Sevenson. Gerace going high for Ediemi. Ediemi is making those runs up against Sezensi. Sezensi this time gets that clearance. It is those pressing movements. Ediemi is not even having those runs. He is not even making those clinical moves. That is a big disheartening aspect Ediemi is showing on the page. He has to come up with those big characters if Dortmund needs any sort of consolation for their home fans, and that too at the Signal Iduna Park. Petri getting De Jong. De Jong passes that high. Will Martin keep that? Yes, the ball is in possession. Martin up against the likes of Jan Koto. Back passes. De Jong. Kubarsi. Now Barcelona are having that possession. Raho, Kunde. Dortmund can now just relax. They can't just relax. 63 minutes on the watch, not a substitution from Niko Kovac. What are they demanding to be seeing in this pitch? What are they demanding to be seeing on the pitch? Keeping Ademi, Maximilian Bayer, Felix Mecha into the squad for so long and they haven't been performing good. It is inside the box. Kobel up against Rafina. Kobel gets that clearance. Martin Lewandowski again. Kubarsi, Pedri, De Jong. Martin again gets that to Rafina. Lopez. Lopez takes that sky touching, rocketing shot from inside the box. That was a shot being taken. Oh my god, Niko Kovac is now seen making those moments. Felix Mecha is now moving out of the pitch. That is what we were wanting. Felix Mecha is out. Maximilian Bayer is out. Two of these substitutions Niko Kovac has made. Felix Mecha and the likes of Maximilian Bayer. It is Rana and Duranville coming onto the pitch. It is Rana and Duranville coming onto the pitch. Maximilian Bayer must have been tormented by his performances. He got many big opportunities, but he couldn't get that. He must be very depressed and much disheartened after his performance. The two substitutions, Felix Mecha is out, Rana is in, Maximilian Bayer out, Duranville in, but no signs of Gittens so far. Still, Ademi is the man kept in the squad. Ademi is the man still kept in the squad. It is Ademi who is still staying on the pitch. Give your votes, guys. Give your votes. Those of you who are watching this, give your votes. Jan Kodo now this time outside the box. He is trying to get a cut in. He has got it good against Kubarsi. Kubarsi gets that clearance, but at the expense of a corner incoming. That is going to be. That is at the expense of a corner. Still on an aggregate 5-2, down by 3 goals. And on the other hand, Aston Villa and PSG 3-2 on an aggregate 4-5 for the villains, down by 1 goal. But over here, still Dortmund has a big mountain to climb. Inside the box, it gets Anton trying to get that header. Yamal winning that up against Ediemi. He crosses that for Rafina, block that is from Nicolas Sule. De Jong back in position with Barcelona, passes that Araujo, Barsi, Martin again. How are things going to unfold for Dortmund if they are now not seen making any movements in the pitch? Duranville and Rana, both of them have come to the pitch. Only 2 substitutions Niko Kovac has made. What is he waiting for? 67 minutes on the watch. The clock is ticking fast, but for Dortmund, No hopes and no expectations because they are still down by 3 goals. Raho, Kunde, Pedri. After the involvement of Pedri in the mid-pitch, Barcelona have been looking, making that position good. Making that position good. It is Lopez trying to find Rafinha. Rafinha gets it into the mid-pitch. Lewandowski clearance that is from Anton. It is a long ball for Duranville. I mean, if Malen would have been there, there are many ifs. There are many ifs for BBB. There are many ifs for BBB. Look at that. Not a single shot which Dortmund has got in the past 10 minutes of this watch. In the past 10 minutes so far, Dortmund hasn't been able to take a shot. That is a big disheartening one. Dortmund are now looking that same first half which they were playing. For the past 10 minutes, Dortmund hasn't been able to register a shot after the involvement of Rana on the pitch. The midfield, they have been now looking struggling back. Aston Villa and PSG, the villains are bombarding PSG with their shots, 14-8 on target. But I think Donnarumma is making those good saves. But Aston Villa still down by 1 goal against PSG, and now it is Dortmund down by 3 goals. Only 2 goals from Gurase and making his tally of 12 goals this season in the Champions League. But this will be that bad exits which Dortmund will be getting in this. Whereas Barcelona taking only 5 shots. Now more of the substitutions are coming in. Yamal is out. Lopez is out. Oh my god. Lamine Yamal is out. Lopez is also out. It is Eric Garcia and Ferran Torres. That is what Hansi Flick is doing. He is making those continuous changes. But look at that. Nico Kovac is not even making those changes to be counting for him. He still has got the substitutions of Ryerson. He has got Wadgen, Oscan, Gittens. Not making that. It is Benzibeni now. Passing that to Cross. Stevenson. But in this game, to talk about, Lamine Yamal was a big disappointment, and the likes of Benzibeni and Stevenson, they did their job so good. Benzibeni is protecting it up high against Lewandowski most of the times, and he has been protecting that aspect also. He has got one own goal, but for today's game, on the rest part, he has done his job good and decent. But what is Dortmund still waiting? 70 minutes are up, 20 minutes plus stoppage time, and a difference of 3 goals for an equalizer to be coming. Kobel this time. Hansi Flick is having that ball ready with him because he wants to dominate this game. Kunde takes that goal to Garcia, Raho, Varsi. This time for Torres. Nicolas Sule has been monstrous too. Nicolas Sule for this leg has been monstrous too. Yes, it is quite evident that Niko Kovac is not having those aspects of his players good enough. Niko Kovac is not having those aspects of his players good enough. That is what he is not making those substitutions even. 72 minutes on the watch. Clock is doing that. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. PSG and Aston Villa 3-2 is the scoreline. 76 minutes. Will we have to witness up to those extra time? For that, PSG and Aston Villa. Kobel got that clearance. Now it is Rafinha inside the box. He gets in. Oh my god, it was a poor shot from Rafinha. He couldn't get those conversions. But after Ferran Torres is on the pitch, is Rafinha moving on to the right wings and Ferran Torres staying on the left wings. Lewandowski is still staying that pole position on the center forwards. Barcelona are now playing that typical 4-2-3-1 because still they have got that 3-goal lead. Vianney to Svensson. Svensson finds Guirassy. But Guirassy is having some sort of objection to the referee because I think that was some sort of touch moment from Mauricio Mariani, the referee on the pitch. I think that is some sort of refereeal interference. What is Mauricio Mariani is going to give that? He gives that position to Ryerson. Ademi is not even being able to move his ass. He is looking now so sluggish, but still Niko Kovac is not making any substitutions. And down getting to Guirassy. Gross. That is a back pass to Kobel. This time it is Sule trying to find Duranville. Kobasi getting that block. Things are not happening. Things are not happening. Dortmund had those early chances, but they prove that they are worthy of getting those exits. Dortmund has proved that they are worthy of getting those exits. And that is what it is looking like. Look at that. Ademi is not even having that walk as well as that run good enough. It's Vanny Gross. Ryerson. I mean, Ryerson has that number 7 on his jersey. He's playing on the mid pitch some unorthodox movements which Niko Kovac is having that. Is for Duranville. Guirassy. Duranville has won that. He has kept the ball inside the pitch. He is inside the box. He makes that. Guirassy, will he take that? Oh my god, it was straight one for Guirassy. And Soro Guirassy has got that third one. Hat-trick. My goodness. Guirassy has got that hat-trick. That is what the BBB fans will be cheering into this game. Borussia Dortmund fans, BBB. Oh my goodness. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Dortmund has scored their third goal and it was Araujo giving that ball straight inside the box to Guirassy and Guirassy has got that hat-trick. It is that hat-trick which has come in from Araujo Guirassy. Oh my goodness. Barcelona are struggling, but with that first leg performance, still they're having that 2-goal lead. That is a big one. That is a big one still to go. Mauricio Mariani on the pitch. He is having some sort of VAR check, I guess. is having some sort of VR check. The VR check is over. This goal stands. This goal stands. It is no offside and it was quite good. Still two more goals to war. A big yes. It is Duranville who has kept the ball. The sidelines referee has also asked the gameplay to continue. My goodness. My goodness. Duranville passed that good, but Araujo not getting that. But starting from this team, I have been saying that why Pedri wasn't picked in the lineup, why Martinez wasn't picked in the lineup by Hansi Flick. And these are the points where Barcelona are struggling in this game. But still, 2 goals lead which they are having. It is 2 goals lead. Jan Corto is substituted and Julian Brandt has come onto the pitch. It is now Duranville. But how is Brandt going to make that count? Niko Kovac is making those substitutions so late. To talk about Dortmund, in the first half they got 10 shots, 1 goal, but in the second half, it is again Brandt has been moving. He is inside the box. He has got that. Oh my God! Julian Brandt has got that goal. Julian Brandt has got that. The flags were raised. The flags were raised. My goodness. Hardly I have ever found Julian Brandt running that fast. He netted it good. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. It is Ademi out, Giddens is in, it is Jan Corto out and Julian Brandt in. 2 more substitutions. Now Niko Kovac has got that. 78 minutes into this. 2 more substitutions in those 78 minutes. My goodness. Unde is there. Rafina passes. Aston get that block code. Gross moving high up. That is a foul for Dortmund. No, a throw has been given in favor of Barcelona for that. Throw has been given for Barcelona into that. Still 2 more goals. Still 2 more goals. Big uphill tasks are cropping up for Dortmund as the time is passing very quick. Anton, that is a back pass for Gregor Kobel. Gross back to Kobel. Kobel this time gets to Rasse. It is for Duranville. He gets that to the far post. It ends. Svensson, Rarson, Duranville to the far post this time. Tackles are being made, but again a foul that is. Maurizio Mariani is doing his job decent. No denying the fact Maurizio Mariani has been doing his job decent. The refereeal aspects of this man, Maurizio Mariani, has been looking good. No denying the fact. Look at that. Sezensi has conceded 3 goals. I mean, this is the biggest defeat Barcelona are getting in this season across all competitions. Barcelona has been trailing behind by 3-1 in 88 minutes in any of their fixtures this season. That is also the watch we will be having. Barcelona in their fixtures hasn't got those defeats. Barcelona hasn't got those defeats. They have been those invincible forms playing in. Last time where they got a defeat was against Real Madrid 2-1. It was against Leganes. It was against Las Palmas 2-1. Real Sociedad, it was 1-0. Osasuna was the team who got those 4 goals. That was way back in the month of September, and it was Monaco getting those big ones. Apart from that, Barcelona hasn't been able to get that. It is a big opportunity coming in. Garcia, will he get that? Oh my god. Missed it, missed it, missed it. That is a miss. But talking about this game, Dortmund has got many misses, and still now they have two goals to come up, two more goals to come up for equalizer, not a win. For equalizer, still they have to get two more goals. It's Stevenson now passing back to Ryerson, Benzibiani, Anton, Benzibiani again. Benzibiani has been doing his job too good. Ryerson this time gets that to Duranville. Brandt with his left footer, he gets that. A header, it was for Gittens, but bit high. Brandt gets that good again. Sule this time. Cross. He takes that cross to the far post. Header, it was from Gurase. It is all the men in yellow and the men in red and blue fighting inside the defensive box of Barcelona. 82 minutes, 50 seconds, 83 minutes on the watch. It is again for Ryerson. He goes that to the far wings. Brand this time. Varsi gets that clearance good. Sule getting that block good enough. Varsi is getting excited. That is what where you have to tempt him to come up running high on the pitch. Will get that place on the defensive aspects. Now it is Duranville again getting that. A cross coming in. What is that? Pascal Gross making those crosses. That was a bad one. That was a bad one from Pascal Gross. 83 minutes, 45 seconds. Still trailing by two goals. Still the voting section for the poll is open. And Gittens gets it going good. Gross is that cross. Stevenson, what he was trying to do, keep the ball in your possession, my boy. Not a shot being taken, not a shot being taken. Barcelona are down to their defensive aspects. Barcelona, the first time in the season I have been looking now, Barcelona are down on their defensive aspects. My goodness. On the other hand, Aston Villa and PSG, 88 minutes, still Villa trailing by one goal. But over here, Dortmund trailing by two goals. Duranville, Gittens trying to take that. Cross block, corner being taken. So good. Cross. Again, that is a cross coming in to the mid pitch. Anton was the man for that header, but he couldn't take that. Anton was the man for that header, but he couldn't take that. It is at the Signal Iduna Park. Now, Dani Olmo coming on to the pitch. Dani Olmo is the man coming onto the pitch. Lewandowski is getting substituted. 7 shots by Barcelona, not a single on target by Lewandowski, and not a shot being taken by him. Only 2 on target from Barcelona, but that one goal, own goal which they have got, and it is 2-0 where Barcelona are still having that lead. Still 2-0. Dortmund has put up a good show so far, but not getting that clinical is the factor which they are having that bad. Look at that. Lemmy Yamal is looking tensed after getting those substitutions. And the play must give those huge rebuking moments, as the play is not going to leave that if your team is not performing. Benzibiani Rason Gurase trying to keep that, but the ball is off for a throw. Kunde getting that to Rafina. De Jong. I mean, who could have expected that Dortmund are going to play this game so big? They even had in the Bundesliga fixture against Bayern for those Der Klassiker, and they got those draws over there. That was a big one. That was a big one. 3-1 is the score line, but on an aggregate, 5-3 is all. 87 minutes now running. There's now Duranville getting it high up. Garcia is the man over there. Duranville has got that goal. He gets that. Sevenson, Ryerson this time. Back to Cross. Benzibiani again. Finding Duranville. Duranville is having those moves. But from the mid pitch, it is struggling. The aspects of Ryerson on the mid pitch is struggling with that. 88 minutes. Still 2 minutes to go. Still 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. On the other hand, PSG and Aston Villa, 92nd minutes is the thing which is looking cooking. Oh my god, Anton got that block so good. Now, Gittens. I mean, why Nico Kovac plays Gittens on the right wings? Gittens loves to play on the left wings. That is what the sacrifice they are having after getting Dolan Malen out. Gross. Anton, Sule passes happening. Gross again with his left footer for that far corners, but Ranville has won that. Pensipiani cross again, four of them are staying. The likes of Anton, Sule, Gross, and Pensipiani who are staying on those defensive aspects. Gross make that pass to the mid pitch, but a miss pass it is. Grant is the man where they are lacking. Grant is the man where they're lacking, but Nico Kovac is keeping Grant on the right wings. And it is the likes of Gittens who is deep laying into those wings. What is the need? Look at that pair, the man from Barcelona and the woman from Dortmund. Look at that. Love is all about in the pitch of football, and it is evident on the stands where a man in Barcelona jersey and a woman in Dortmund jersey are sticking together to each other. 4 minutes. 90 minutes are up and only 4 minutes left. Dortmund. Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund. Will that be good enough? Will that be good enough for you, my boys? Sule takes that throw quite good. Anton. What is a back pass Benzibiani is making? Make those crosses, boy. Make those crosses. Only 3.5 minutes left in the stoppage time. Damn, damn. Big opportunities. Dortmund got those big opportunities. It was in the first leg as well, and in the second leg as well. The story is going to continue to be that. I mean, it was a big, good performance which they got it in this, but I think that is. On the other hand, Aston Villa 3-2 has got a win over PSG, but on an aggregate of 4-5, PSG moves to the semi-finals. PSG moves to the semi-finals. That game has ended. And over here, it is also going to end very soon. 1 minute, 15 seconds of the stoppage time are up. Of those, all in all, four. Gittens trying to carry the ball much high up by himself. Dani Olmo up against, that is big loss. Look at the Barcelona players. They are looking upset because they are ready that Hans Flick is going to get that big rebuking format. So Hansi Flick coming to Dortmund is getting those losses. That will be the big statement. But after all, it is Barcelona getting those wins and making it to the semi-finals. Will this be the story tomorrow morning? Will this be the headlines? Because now Barcelona are still making those back passes. Como trying to get that a back pass. Ryerson has won that. Make that pass, my boy. He now makes that. It is Sevenson who is moving it. He passes that to Duranville to the far post. Brandt. A shot being taken. Gross. I think that is a corner going to be incoming. I think that is a corner going to be incoming. Make that corner fast, my boys. Make that corner fast. Gross takes that early. Brandt, who is there? Look at that poor form of Julian Brandt. Struggling in the first half. Now also not getting that good. Opportunities has been wasted. Dortmund has really wasted opportunities. 17, 11 shots on target. Big opportunities wasted by Dortmund. They put on that show good, but not good enough to get past those 4-goal leads of Barcelona. So in this game, time is the winner, and the first leg advantage of 4 goals is the winner over here. 3 minutes 40 seconds, only 20 seconds left into that. Svensson this time goes far. It is Gittens who is in a bad shape. It is all in all Dortmund who performed this second leg good as an all in all. But in terms of one-to-one comparison, it is that whistle which has been blown. It is that whistle which has been blown. Niko Kovac has proved his worth and winning against Hansi Flick's lethal Barcelona. Dortmund gave everything, but it is their overall form which they were lacking it, and they have made that back. They have been really making that bad, 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 bad. What is that? Oh my goodness. Aston Villa and PSG 3-2 is the scoreline on an aggregate 4-5. PSG moves to the semi-finals, and over here it is Barcelona Dortmund 3. Oh my goodness. Look at their pair. Man from Barcelona and woman from Dortmund. They are kissing on the stands. Oh my goodness. Football is having that love all across the globe. Football is having that love all across the globe. Ah, how could we have afforded that? How could we have afforded that? How could we have afforded that to be upcoming? My goodness, my goodness. Love is omnipresent and it is everywhere on the globe. But that is the end of this story, and Dortmund will not be playing the Champions League next season as well. They have got those exits this season. Next season, Dortmund are out. And Aston Villa, the next season as well, they will not play the Champions League as per the Premier League table, which is standing. And PSG on an aggregate of 5-4 getting that big. Oh my God. Who could have imagined that the Champions League matches will be getting that big? And it is PSG who has moved on, and it is Barcelona who has moved on. Look at that! Look at that! It is this which is standing on. PSG are there, and the winners of Arsenal and Real Madrid. Oh my goodness, Mikel Arteta, if he will be having the watch of the two matches for tonight, and with a 3 goal lead, will that he will be making those trapping moments, and at the Santiago Bernabeu, will Mikel Arteta be making it up, or Real Madrid will they make that? We will be having the watch of that as well. And on the other hand, it is the likes of Dortmund getting those exits and Barcelona making it. Inter and Bayern, that will be the game which we will be watching for. That is all up from my end. And yes, what a thrill that is! What a thrill that is! We made our predictions from the start of the team, and those of you who participated on that voting section, thanks for participating in that. We have got that big ones. So tomorrow it is Real Madrid and Arsenal. We will be watching that, and the likes of Inter and Bayern Munich. Will Bayern be able to make that? Injury laden Vincent Company's men at San Siro and down by 1 goal on an aggregate in the first leg. Will they make it up against the likes of Inter, or will it the likes of Carlo Ancelotti's man down by 3 goal against Mikel Arteta's set piecers? Gunners, I think that name should be changed. It should be the set pieces, not Gunners anymore. Will they make that? We will be watching that. Who will be facing PSG and who will be facing Barcelona for the semi-finals of the 2024-25 Champions League, and who will make it to the finals? Big question running on. Yes, stay tuned to FC RAMSAY, and we have got that, but Dortmund in this game played good. 3-1, a big upset it is for Hansi Flick's Barcelona, and Hansi Flick traveling to Signal Iduna Park has got that bad, he has got that taste bad. That is all from my end, and good night. Tomorrow also we will be having the watch along. The live playlist has been created. You can give your votes over there, and the voting section for the upcoming Champions League fixtures, it will be open tomorrow. We will be having the watch from there as well. But this is what the story has been for this. My goodness, that is something wrong. It is Dortmund who has, got those exits. It is not the likes of Barcelona, and on the other hand, it is the likes of PSG who has moved that advanced rate to it. Who will be facing? So yes, tomorrow we will be having the watch along, and oh my god, what is that? We got those votes on the chat section as well. And yes, those of you who participated in those votes, thank you for coming on to the stream and giving your votes. Thank you for coming on to the stream and giving your votes. Let me just refresh this. Let me just refresh this. Why is it showing that Barcelona has been? Look at that. This application over here, it is showing that Barcelona has got those. That name over Barcelona, it has been struck. What is that? It is something of disheartening news which is coming on. Barcelona has they got those exits. Look at that. It is BBB and Barcelona 5-3 is the aggregate, and but the name Barcelona's name has been struck from there. What is that? Has UEFA made any some sort of unanimous decisions for today? Has UEFA made some sort of unanimous decisions on the page? But well played, my boys. Dortmund played really well. The next season they won't be getting that, and yes, we will be just switching off this stream. Indeed, we will be just now switching off. I can't just have more energy left into me. So yes, good night, and do come along for the watch along of tomorrow as well. Bye bye, good night, and yes, keep going. BVB played well, then also getting those exits. No worries. We we can't be making that in the next season, but after the next season, making it in the Bundesliga in the top fours and getting to the Champions League will be the story. Niko Kovac has to get this team ready. Niko Kovac has to get this team ready. That is the statement. Nothing else.